I'm Tom Prince with Western New York Athletics, and you are our first round of baseball interviews for the day. We've got another fantastic day of interviews. We've got 15 more baseball players we're going to highlight today. We're going to go from north to south, east, west. We're going to cover all of Section 6, as well as some Monsignor Martin. So we've got some great players here to start off. Their introductions from Medina, Chris Goyette. From Canisius, Dan Tocco. And from Lewiston Porter, Cooper Krawczak. Guys, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's get right into our questions. My first question to let everybody get to know you. Have you committed to playing baseball or any other sport at the next level? If so, where and why? Chris, let's start off with yourself.
I've decided to commit and go play at Cortland in the fall, and I chose there because they just have a good atmosphere, and it's a sports college. Like, everyone's gonna be there, everyone's into it, and they're perennial a powerhouse in D3, and I felt that they could develop my skills as I was there, and also their academics are just as good.
And Chris, if I'm correct, they were going to be a top 10 ranking this year before the season started. Am I right?
Yeah, they were ranked 8th in the nation this year, and sadly their season they weren't able to play, but I was watching them, and they were set to do really good.
Yeah. So, no, I definitely saw that. So I could absolutely see why Cortland was a choice for you. So, Dan, how about you? I know you're not going to play baseball at the next level, but you're going somewhere big. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Ohio State in the fall because I chose it because it had a very good engineering program, top 25, and that really did well when I was there.
Fantastic. Wow. Cooper, how about yourself?
I've committed to play baseball at Westminster College in Pennsylvania, and I chose there because felt like a good fit, and I liked all the coaches when I went to visit.
Great choice. Another good school. Another ranked school that's ranked in Division III on multiple occasions. All right, let's go right into our questions. What is the most memorable moment you've had in a high school baseball game? Dan, let's start with you on this one.
Oh, boy. Probably against Franny's last year. I pitched a complete game. Only allowed 2 hits. I think I had like 11 or 12 strikeouts, I think. It's really good game.
That's a good little outing. 12 strikeouts in a Monsignor Martin game. I'd take that.
Yeah.
Nice. Cooper, how about you?
Probably when I was in 9th grade, I had my first at bat on varsity, and I was pretty nervous. I got an RBI single. Felt pretty good.
Nice one. Chris, how about you?
I'd have to say last year's crossover game between us and Roy Hart. It was Roy Hart had our number all year, and there were only 2 losses, and we came out against a kid, Charlie Bruning, who pretty much shut us down all year, and came out strong and ended up killing them, and that just felt so good for us because we were working so hard all year and finally paid off.
Chris, if you remember, I was at that 1-0 game that you guys had. That could have been, the game of the year right there. It was phenomenal to watch that game.
That was a great game. That was probably second. Just even though we lost, it was back and forth and 9 innings. It was insane.
It was. That was a great game to watch. It really was. So listen, you already alluded to something right. Rivalries are huge, you know what I mean? And they're not bad. They're just, it's one game you just want a little bit more than maybe some of the other games that are on your schedule. So what's the one game you had circled on the schedule this season that you couldn't wait for? Cooper, let's start with you on this
one. This year it'd probably be Ken West because they won the league last year, and we played them pretty good last year. We lost both times, but they were good games. So this year we're hoping to get back at them.
Fantastic. Yeah, they're going to be another good team. Chris, how about you on this one?
League-wise, I'd probably say Albion because we've always been rivals, and that's always a fun game. We always get into it. But I'd say I was looking forward to playing Ken West at that showcase because we've always been playing B teams, and I'd like to see how we'd match up against bigger schools.
Yeah, trust me. I when I put those matchups together, that was one I wanted to see happen. I thought that was going to be a fantastic matchup. But you alluded to, imagine a Luthar Formansky matchup at Albion Medina.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see that matchup this year too. That'd be
Yeah.
a great one. So, yep, that was a great one there. Dan, how about you? Boy, you could go outside, inside. This should be a good one.
Yeah, definitely St. Mary's, I would have to say. Last year we played them, beat them twice in the regular season. Then they came out in the semifinals. They were just a different team, and they beat us and ended our season, So I'd really like to play them again.
And I'll tell you, if you would have told me St. Francis, you would have told me St. Joe's, you would have said St. Mary's. I wouldn't have been surprised by any of your answers there. You could have went out some of your non-league games you could have been excited about because you could have a great schedule. So great one. So guys, here's one of my newer questions I've added. So let's pretend I'm a college coach. And I'm going to ask you, what separates you from any other player? What do you say to them? Chris, let's start with you on this one.
Well, since I'm going to college to pitch, I'd say what separates me with pitching would probably be that I'll go out and I'll pitch. It doesn't matter if I'm doing good or bad. I'll always give 100%, and I'll always throw strikes. That's the biggest thing for me. Like, if I get like completely rocked, oh well, but I'm still gonna go out every inning, try and get outs no matter what.
There you go. So really, what you should have said to me, Chris, is I should have said a better matchup would have been a Goyette / Formansky matchup, right? I apologize. Yeah. I should have said that.
Yeah, if Trevor pitches or I pitch, I don't care as long as we win.
That's a great attitude to have right there, Chris. No doubt about it. Dan, how would you answer that one?
I think the thing that they'd realize most is that I'm a very coachable kid. I think I learn very quickly. They'd also learn that I'm a very hard worker and I tend to lead by example.
Yep, no doubt about it. And I got a chance to see that actually happen out on the field. So I agree 100% with you there, Dan.
Yeah.
Cooper, how about you?
Well, I spend a lot of time outside of practice playing baseball and working on stuff. And I lead by example. I'm not like the loudest kid, but I show by example of what we should do at practice and stuff.
And Cooper, you've been on varsity for a little bit now, haven't you?
Yeah, since 9th grade.
And you've done great things even at a younger age. So there's no doubt that you've had an impact on that program out there.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go to a fun question. If you could meet somebody famous, who would it be and why? Dan, let's start with you on this one.
Oh boy. Probably like Mark Wahlberg or something. I don't know. I like his movies a lot. Just because, I don't know.
Nice one. That's the first time his name's come up in all these interviews. So he went down a road nobody's gone. So there you go. Cooper, how about you?
Probably have to say Mike Trout because he's probably my favorite baseball player, and he's really good. And he just seems like on and off the field, he's a good guy.
Yep, no doubt about it. Chris, how about you on this one?
I'm gonna have to go with David Ortiz. He's been my favorite player since I was born, pretty much. And he's a winner, and he always probably one of the clutchest players I've ever seen. And I just want to know like what goes through his head, hitting wise and just baseball wise.
That's a good one. I gotta tell you, Chris, I'm a huge Yankees fan, but that would be one Red Sox I would like to meet myself because you nailed it. He really is. He's been clutch. He's a great guy, great personality. There's so many things about him. I agree with you there 100%. So listen, I'm going to give you guys the forum right now, right in the stage, that to thank whoever you want right now that's helped you to get to where you are today. So there aren't many chances we get to be able to thank all the people that helped us get to where we are. So I'm going to give you guys that stage. Cooper, let's start with you. Who would you like to thank that helped you get to where you are today?
I definitely want to thank my parents because they've always supported me and they drive me all over the country for games and tournaments, and they don't get mad about it.
Anybody else? Any coaches? Anything else you want to thank?
I guess just all my coaches for helping me throughout the years.
Fantastic. Chris, how about you on this one?
First of all, I'd like to thank my parents because they always saw the potential in me. My mom drove me everywhere, sacrificed a lot to get me to travel tournaments and stuff. And my dad was my coach for most of my years, and he always saw that I could be better than I was. If I had to thank a coach other than my dad, it'd probably be Vinny Deloso, Joe Deloso from Starpoint's father. He was our travel coach, and he was always pushing us to be better than we were, and he always kept us level-headed. And after playing for the Nationals, he's probably like a second father to me. He's just a great guy, and yeah.
Great one. No, it's a great one. Great story right there. So we go from one Nationals team to another Nationals team, right? So Dan, how about you? Who would you like to thank?
I'd have to thank my parents first and foremost. You know, they've given up countless hours in the summer, in the school year, just driving me places, all the money it costs to play travel baseball, go to school and everything. And they've just really just given a lot to me, and I'm very thankful for it. And also my coaches, obviously. Two coaches I like to thank the most are definitely Coach Nasca from the Nationals. He really taught me a lot in my earlier high school years to become a better player. And then also Coach Santanacito, who just took over the Kenesha spot last year as a head coach. And I played summer ball for him last summer, and he's really taught me a lot as well.
Two great coaches right there, no doubt about it. Two big impact coaches in Western New York to boot. So great ones right there, you guys. So, okay, listen. My next question is, who do you play for in the summer? Even though some of you guys have answered that a little bit, but who do you play for in the summer? And what was the most memorable baseball travel moment that you've had? Chris, let's start with you on this one.
Well, I played for the Niagara Nationals for a while, but last summer I played for the Niagara Junior Thunderwolves showcase team. But my favorite tournament or like memory was probably when the Nationals, I went down to Myrtle Beach, and it was a semifinal game against a team that beat us in pool play, and they were number one seed in the tournament. We were probably second best team, but they were using an illegal bat, and I was coming back from a back injury all summer, and it was like my second game pitching, and I managed to shut them down and only holding a 1 run. I gave up a bomb to that bat, but that's irrelevant because we won by a bunch. But yeah, it probably best game atmosphere because both teams were going at it. Like it was pretty much North versus South. They were getting so mad at each other. But yeah, that was just fun, and we ended up winning the tournament against teams around the country. It was great.
Nice. And your teammates also alluded that as a memory too. There was a quote one of the coaches came out with about the bats that was real funny. I remembered.
Yeah, that was my dad. We always made fun of him after that.
That's great. Dan, how about you on this one?
I think it had to be when I played for the Northtown Nationals. We were in a tournament. I think it was Sports at the Beach. And it was just like we played some White Sox team from New Jersey, I think. And the game got like super heated. I remember you might have been there actually. The game got super heated and it was super fun. And then they took a big lead like right at the end of the game, and they started chirping us and everything. And then we ended up winning at the end, and it was a real super fun game.
That's awesome. That never die attitude, never give up is always something that you're never going to forget, and you're going to use anywhere in life, right? Whether you're playing baseball or not. So
Yeah.
Great answer right there. Cooper, how about you?
Past couple summers I've played for full circuit, but this summer I was gonna play for Lewiston Predators. My favorite tournament probably would be Cal Ripken tournament in Baltimore. I think it was 12U. They had really cool fields. They're like monster MLB field. It was a lot of fun playing there.
Did you hit one over the green monster one?
No, I didn't.
Did you play on that field though?
I don't think I did actually.
That was one of the fields that are in the back right there. It's a great one. It actually,
Yeah,
it's the green monster out there. Everybody loves playing on that field just because they,
yeah, it was
it's the
cool.
whole Fenway thing. So great memories right there, you guys. So my last question I have for you. If we asked your coach to describe you and the impact that you've had on the school or program, what would they say? Dan, let's start with you on this one.
I think they'd probably say that I'm a very good leader. I think I am very hardworking, and I've impacted the younger players very well. Whether it's just like being at the JV and freshman practices, or just trying to teach them something here and there. And I think that also my coachable attitude has impacted the program well, I think.
Okay, great one. Cooper, how about you on this one?
I think they'd say I'm hardworking, that committed to the program, and I'm pretty quiet, but I still lead by example and stuff.
That's a great one. Chris, how about you?
I'd say a good role model to the younger kids coming up. I try to be their friend rather than like someone who's always like get to work. But I'd also say that I'm a good leader, where I won't. If someone's gonna lose their head, I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm gonna tell them to calm down, and sometimes I do, but if I teach them that that's not right, they can even come at me, and we have a good relationship between me and the younger kids. But I can also always have fun with it. So I'd say that.
Awesome. Great ones, you guys. Well, listen, that's all the questions I have. I want to say thank you so much for joining me from the sidelines. That's the end of round one. We got 4 more rounds of interviews to go. A great day ahead of us in interviews. What a great start. And guys, hopefully the next time we get a chance to talk, it's going to be me covering you guys at a game at the Fields.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Hope so.
You got it, Western New York. We're at round 2 from the sidelines. We've got 3 more fantastic baseball players here that I can't wait to talk to. Let's introduce them. From St. Joe's, Cade Dick.
Hello, everyone.
There you go. From Depew, Christian Pagano. And then from Sweet Home, Sean Romanowski. Guys, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. Very glad to have you guys. So let's get right into our questions. My first question is so that Western New York gets a chance to know you a little bit. Have you committed to playing baseball or any other sport at the next level? If so, where and why? Kate, let's start with you.
All righty. So I committed to Keuka College. It's like in the Finger Lakes. It's a D3 school. I'm going there for accounting, and should be exciting. Next 4 years.
Why Keuka?
I really wanted to dorm somewhere, but not be at home. So I wanted to have a somewhat college experience, but still be close to home where I could see my family sometimes. And I don't know, I went to Keuka and I felt good going there, and I caught a good vibe and just kind of ran with it. The coach was amazing, Coach Furchin.
Yeah,
but
I've got a chance to meet him too, or talk to him too. He is a great coach, and he's building a program too. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely.
So, Christian, I know you're still early in the game, so not committed at this point. So let's just talk about
Yeah.
looking to play baseball at the next level. And you started
Yeah,
talking
but
to
I'm
people
keeping
yet.
I'm interested in playing baseball, but I'm keeping my options open. So like I'll play any of the three sports I play, but baseball is probably like the top one I'm gonna be playing.
And have you started talking to schools and looking at
Yeah.
you may be interested in?
Mainly over this whole COVID like break that I've been reaching out to schools as well. So
Fantastic. And then Sean, how about yourself?
Yeah, I committed to Hilbert for criminal justice, and I'm going for baseball also.
Fantastic. And why Hilbert?
I was also looking at Kyuka as long as with Cade, but I just felt like Hilbert was like my best fit for me.
Okay, fantastic. So all great schools right there. So let's get into some of the fun questions right here. So let's talk. What is your most memorable moment that you've had in a high school baseball game so far? Christian, let's start with you on this one.
Probably my freshman year against JFK. It was like the last like league game, and I had 4 for 4, and I think I had like a double and a couple RBIs to win the game, and like that was like that was the first time we won the division in like a while, so it was a pretty cool moment.
And kind of a coming out party for you, right?
Yeah, because I got to play with like my brother and all the older guys, and I was just a young freshman, so it was pretty cool.
Nice. So do I get to ask the question, who's the better Pagano?
You can go with Joe.
You're being nice.
Yeah.
Sean, how would you like to answer that one?
Yeah.
Probably getting called up for my first varsity game as an 8th grader.
Okay. Nice. What happened? Did you get a chance to play?
Yeah, I caught the whole game for them.
You've had some memorable moments too. I was there when you actually caught a perfect game.
A perfect game for Josh. Yeah.
That was I was asked that game. I remember when you did that. And did
Yeah.
you call most of the game too?
I called the whole game. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great memory right there. I remember I was there for that one. Cole was freezing out too.
Yeah.
The snow was coming down a little bit. It was a great game there to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Kate, how about you?
I would say for me, hands down, it would be sophomore year. In the playoffs, we played, it was St. Mary's, and it was such a long game. It was a 14-inning game. It had to be split up into 2 days, and it was such a battle. Like it was so tolling on the mind because you just wanted to win, and it was just such a long game that it was excruciating. But when I came up, I think it was bases loaded, but there was 1 out. So I had a lot of confidence going up to the plate, and I got a base knock, and we end up walking it off and heading to the championship against I think St. Francis. Yeah. But yeah, that was by far a Gatorade shower, everything. That was amazing. It'll be tough to top.
That was another great one right there.
Yeah, that was definitely electric.
See why that was a memory for you.
Yeah.
Awesome ones right there, you guys. All right, so listen, we all have rivalries. Cade, you're already alluding to some of them, right? We all got rivalries. There's that game you got circled on the calendar where you're like, man, I couldn't wait for that game this season. What was the one game you guys had circled on the calendar that you couldn't wait to play for this season? Sean, let's start with you on this one.
Probably Will East, because we've lost them almost every time throughout the past few years, and I felt like this year we could actually have a chance to beat them.
Yeah, and that Will East has been one circled on a lot of teams' calendars so far.
Yeah.
Kate, how about you?
I would have to say St. Mary's, which is probably shocking to you guys because you would assume that it would be Canisius, but because of the rivalry. But St. Mary's, those guys are scrappy. They're tough to play against, and they just pile up hits, and they do it in the most obscure ways. But I would love to play them again and get redemption. But
it doesn't surprise me at all. To be honest, and they're also with them winning it last year, I could see why you'd want to.
Definitely,
right?
Yeah.
But you made a point, and I make this point when we talk about this question is You could have said Canisius, it wouldn't surprise me. You would have said St. Francis, it wouldn't have surprised me. If you would have went to some of your non-league games, right? You're playing Will North,
Yeah.
you're playing Orchard Park, you're playing, you know what I mean, like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me any
Definitely.
teams that you picked there. Christian, how about you on this one?
This one's probably pretty obvious. Is Iroquois, mainly because we lost to them twice last year, and we got to get them back, or at least attempt to get them back. And knowing that they have Nick and some good solid pitchers over there, they're a tough team. They're really good. They're probably the best team in our division. So to beat them, it would be nice.
Yeah, and I remember when Nick pitched against you guys last year. When he comes
Yeah.
out with all those different balls, he's something. He really is.
Yeah.
I can see getting it. And again, same thing. Any game you could have said was a rivalry game in there, right?
Yeah.
Year's going to be a great game this year, right? You could have said, you could have went up and down the lineup. Lakeshore is always a big.
Yeah, Lakeshore is good. Yeah.
To be talking about there too. So, okay, a little bit of a fun question. Let's pretend I'm a college coach. So, Christian, this is big for you. I know, Sean, Kate, you've already committed, but, let's play along a little bit that I'm a college coach. I ask you, what separates you from any other player? What do you say?
I'd probably say versatility.
Go ahead. Christian, go ahead.
I'd probably go with my versatility, mainly because I've been I've played multiple positions throughout my baseball careers, going all the way back till I was 10. So I feel like you could put me anywhere on the field and I'd be able to make a play or do something to your best ability or something like that.
Is there a position you're more comfortable with, Christian?
Probably middle infield, second or short, but I played third. I've played outfield. I've caught before, but some injuries set me back. So that was probably that, and first base are probably out of the picture. But other than that, I could play anywhere else.
Hey, I've seen your ups, though. You probably could get away with first base.
Yeah, maybe.
Kate, how would you answer that one?
I would say that my work ethic would be something I would tell the coach that separates me, because I like working out, and I would not be opposed to off-season workouts, 6 a.m. lifts and stuff. I'm dedicated to my craft. I love the sport. I will do things to get better. And also I would allude to what Christian said, versatility. I could play any spot in the infield that I'm needed, even in the outfield. I'll play wherever gets me in the game, I will play, definitely. So definitely a sacrifice to the team, whatever it takes.
Great one. Sean, how about you?
Probably the same. Probably my work ethic, because I'm always trying to push to be better than everybody else, even though sometimes it's difficult to do that. And I could play a few other positions also.
Yeah, but I think you're pretty good behind the dish. I think that's what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great answers, guys. Let's go to a little bit of a fun one. So if you could meet somebody famous, who would it be and why? Kate, let's start with you on this one.
Let's see. If I was able to meet someone famous, I'd have to go with Mark Wahlberg. I really like him as an actor, and obviously he's huge. So I'd pick his brain on what to do to gain muscle and how to eat healthy and all that stuff. And I don't know, he just seems like a good, awesome guy to be around.
Nice. He came up in the last segment too. So we had from him. Yeah, he came up twice now, right in a row.
Marky Wahlberg, Mark, he's that guy.
He's been in some great movies, no doubt about it. Christian, how about you on this one?
I gotta go with LeBron James mainly because he's just the coolest guy. He's not really a typical athlete, that guy that's gonna be cocky and show off. But I feel like he's a lot if you gotta get to know him to know how he is. That's why I feel like it would be cool to hang out with him.
So don't ask you about the whole Michael Jordan, LeBron James thing, right?
I actually was not a LeBron James fan when he was in the when he was at the Heat. I just didn't like him, but he grew on me, I guess. I don't know.
There you go. Awesome. Sean, how about you?
Probably Aaron Judge, because I would just ask him because his swing is just probably one of the top in the MLB, and it would just like get all the information on like how to like change mine and like get better every once in a while. And then his arm strength is incredible also.
I definitely wouldn't mind that body frame and that exit velo that he's got, right?
Yeah. Right.
Awesome. So listen, guys, I'm going to give you the platform right now. Very rarely do you get a chance to say thank you to the people that have helped to get you where you are today. So I'm going to ask you, who do you want to thank right now in this stage that have helped you get to where you are? Sean, let's start with you.
Probably my parents, Paul Nasca, which is the St. Joe's coach, and my coach, John Campolo for Sweet Home.
Great ones. Kate, how about you?
That's a long list. I would like to thank my parents, Paul Nasca, definitely my coach, Sean's coach as well. But I used to work out at Sports Performance with John Offer. I dedicate a lot of my stuff to him, even though I don't go to him anymore. He definitely shaped me into the athlete that I am today. And John DeZamba, Rick Lancelotti, John Barbario. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I apologize if I leave a few.
This is some big names in baseball you named right there.
Yeah, my dad pushed me. I'll give that to the old Pops. He definitely pushed me and gave me the best tools to succeed.
That's awesome. And Christian, I know a little bit younger, but who do you want to thank so far?
I'd probably obviously go with my parents, my brother Joe, mainly because he pushes me more than anybody, like even some of the coaches. All the coaches, there's too many to name, but like all my coaches have helped me tremendously to put where I am.
Awesome. Great answers, you guys. So listen, a couple of you already named, you named some of your travel coaches here. So my next question is, who do you play for in the summer? And then what was the most memorable baseball travel moment that you've had? So Christian, let's start with you on this one.
So this summer I'm going to be playing for the Prospects for Hellenbrook, and probably most memorable one was probably last year. Actually, it happened twice where we were the low seed in the tournament, and I had to play my older brother's baseball team, and we actually beat them both times and ended up winning the championship both times. So it was just like cool to play my own brother and beat him. Obviously, that's cool too.
See, you remember that question I started off with? He wanted that as his moment so he could address that question. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Christian, I'm kidding. You know that. Sean, how about you?
Well, last year I played for the Northtown Nationals, and this year I'm just going to be playing AAA and Legion.
Okay.
And my most memorable will probably be last year when we were in Pittsburgh, I believe, and it was a downpour, and we were just playing a doubleheader in a freezing cold, and then I hit a home run in like the 6th inning, I believe.
Nice. Yeah. And home run's going to be a good memory, no doubt about it. Yeah. Kate, how about you?
Well, me and Sean played on the same team, so I also played for the Northtown Nationals last year. And I would say I have a really bad memory, but the best memory that I have of travel baseball would actually have to be like when I was 11 or 10 going to Delaware and playing at the Dreamfield Parks. No, that might be.
Is that the Bash at the Beach one?
Yes, Rehoboth. Yeah, there's so many memories that I have that are embedded in my brain there. Like I had such a blast. I'll never forget those. Just the complex, the way we played ball. We got to the championship a few times down there. Like it was a blast. That's what I remember.
And then being right on the beach right there, not far.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The beach, jumping in the waves. Whew. Yeah, tough to beat.
In fact, Sean, your teammate with the Nationals talked about Bash at the Beach as being his one. Dan Toko was on already, and Dan said that is his memory that he had. So great tournament. I could absolutely see that, guys. So my last question I have. If we ask your coach to describe you and the player you are and the impact you've had so far on the school, what would he say? So, Sean, let's start with you on this one.
Well, for high school, it would probably be that I've been a leader starting with my first varsity game in 8th grade. So I've just been pushing like everybody else along the way, just trying to like improve our program as a whole and like trying to push a few other people that I know that have more potential than maybe some others to grow out and show themselves what they can do.
Great one. Kate, how about you?
I would say definitely like leadership and command, because I'm kind of a straight shooter. Like some captains, they just are always like positive, and sometimes this doesn't go too well with me, but I just tell it how it is. And if guys are slacking and they're not putting in the work, like I'll let them know, not to knock them down, but to encourage them and pick them back up and say like, you need to be held accountable. And I would say definitely like with the off-season workouts, and this would have been my first year being captain, which is unfortunately, hopefully actually we still play, but yeah, I would just say holding people accountable and being versatile. I could play any position.
Fantastic. Well, fingers crossed, like I said there, right? Let's hope you
Right.
get at least a couple games in, even if they're just league games. It's just something to take the field and wear that uniform, like you said, especially with the captain there. Christian, how about you on this one?
This one's weird to answer, mainly because the 2 years that I was on varsity, I was like the younger guy, so like I wasn't known like for being a leader or anything yet. So like this year is my year to shine, and next year as well. So I'd probably say like just being like the team player. Like I'll play anywhere just to win. And I do have like a goofiness to me, so we have fun on the team as well. So I mean, I feel like that's the impact.
And what Coach Crowley's going to see is your growth, right? He's going to see
Yeah.
your growth as not only as a player, but as the leader too. There's no doubt there's going to be a huge growth component that's going to happen with you.
Yeah.
So, guys, listen, great answers today. I want to say thank you so much for joining me from the sidelines. Another great round of interviews. And Cade, like you said, fingers crossed. And hopefully the next time we get a chance to talk, it's going to be me covering you guys at a field.
Yep.
Definitely.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You got it. Round 3 of interviews here in Western New York. We've got 3 more great players here that we're going to talk to in Western New York. We're going to go north. We're going to go south. We got it all covered in this one. So, wow. Let's talk to these 3 players right here. Let's start off from Dunkirk. Peyton Ahlstrom. Then we're going to go to Lewiston Porter. Anthony Dragoni. And then from Lakeshore, Spencer Quillis. Guys, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So let's get Western New York to get to know you guys a little bit. Start out. Have you committed to playing baseball or any other sport at the next level? If so, where and why? Peyton, let's start with you on this one.
I'm committed to Finger Lakes Community College to play baseball. And I chose them because Coach Marin just throughout the whole recruiting process really stayed in touch with me, not just as a baseball player, but he was texting me during football season, asking me how my games were going there. So I just felt more connected there. He stayed in touch.
I got a chance to get to know him when we interviewed him. Great coach. You could see exactly why you think very highly of him. No doubt about it right there. Anthony, I know you're not going to play baseball at the next round, but you've got a big commitment that you're going to talk about right here, what you're going to be doing for the next 4 years. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I decided I wasn't going to play baseball, so I'm going to focus on academics. So I'll be going to Syracuse University in the fall, majoring in biomedical engineering. I felt like it was just a good fit when I visited there. Really nice campus. They have a good program for what I'm going into. So I'm just really excited to get there in the fall.
Nice. You got some serious academics right there. What class led you to that?
I'd say probably my chemistry and physics teacher, Mr. Thompson. He's been
Fantastic.
A big inspiration for me.
That's awesome. Great one right there. Spencer, how about you?
I'll be going to ECC to play baseball. I went there because Coach Balth really made me feel at home. A lot of kids I play with in the summer already go there. So Nate Lockwood, your son, Jordan. So it was a good fit.
Yep.
Hartman.
About it. Another great coach right there too. So great choice right there too. And so you and Peyton will be seeing a lot of each other over over the next 2 years. So listen, guys, let's go right into the questions. My first one: what is your most memorable moment in a high school baseball game? Anthony, let's start with you on this one.
So I'd probably say my freshman year, the sectional semifinal. We were the 5 seed playing at Star Point. They were the number 1 seed. They were pretty good that year. So we knew that we were going to have to play really well if we wanted to get a shot at the championship. So it was a really back and forth game, tight all game. It was 2-2 going into the 7th. We were able to put a run across in the top and then hold them off in the bottom and get a win. It was just a really exciting game, real memorable moment.
Nice. Great team moment right there. Spencer, how about yourself?
It was probably my sophomore year when it was my brother's senior year. We had a really good team, and we actually went 12-0 in league. It was the first time in school history, so that was pretty cool. You get to do something not a lot of people got to do, so it's pretty cool.
That's great. So I always ask when we talk about the brother combo. So do I get to ask who's the better player?
He's a little faster than me.
It's the speed component, right?
Yeah.
Well, listen, catchers aren't supposed to be fast, though.
Right.
Peyton, answer that one.
I would have to say last year's Dunker Fredonia game. It was a big deal to me because Dunker hadn't beaten Fredonia in 7 years, the crosstown rivalry. So being able to come in there, and it was a really gritty game. It was the first 2 innings were the 2 chippiest innings of baseball I've ever played. My team up and down was just gritty. My friend Mike played the game with a broken finger. Friend Jared was a senior and struggled at the plate, but came in at the end to close it out. Extra inning game. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Now, Mike
Norton.
Okay. Fantastic. Oh, that's tough to play with a broken finger. That gives him a lot of credit. And that I know is a huge rivalry game down there. Anytime you got a Dunkirk-Fredonia game, it's going to be a big game. So I can see that one. No doubt about it. Which leads me into my next question very easily. So what is the one game you had circled on the calendar that you couldn't wait for, right? And listen, it's all fun rivalries here that we're talking about. But there's always that one game we have a little extra something for we were hoping for. Spencer, you can go a couple ways on this one, but we're going to start with you.
Definitely Iroquois. Like losing to them in the finals just kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth, especially by just a run. And I don't know, we have always had kind of a rivalry since I've been a freshman, so definitely Iroquois.
Yeah, that's good. That was no doubt going to be a great game. It could be a pitcher's duel on the mound too. At the same time, it could be that 1 or 2 runs. It's going to be big. It's going to come across there. And how about you?
Dunker Fredonia game. Definitely easy.
Yeah, that is a pretty easy one for you guys. There's no doubt about it. So, Anthony, you can go a couple ways on this one, right? You got a very tough NFL division that you're a part of. There's a lot of ways you could go on this one. So let's see which one you had.
Yeah, I'd probably say Niagara Wheatfield. They're always a good team. And last year we played pretty bad against them. I had 2 games against them. So I was looking forward to getting back at them. Hopefully getting a couple wins against them.
That was going to be 2 good pitching staffs going at each other, too. That would have been a great game to be able to be a part of and watch. So, no doubt about it. Great choice right there. So, guys, let's pretend I'm a college coach. I ask you, what separates you from any other player? What do you say? So, Anthony, I know you're not going to school to play, but just out of curiosity. And for Peyton and Spencer, you guys are going to be asked this question again, right? Because you're going to a 2-year school, so you're going to eventually go to another school. So you're going to get asked this question. So Peyton, let's start with you. How would you answer that?
I just think that me as a person, I'm not the tallest ever. I'm fairly short, actually. I've always been the shortest, always been the smallest. Just that sort of a fiery dude. And me and my teammates always know that I'll do anything for them. And that I always got them, so that's about it.
Now, Peyton, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to play shortstop? Are you looking to pitch? What are you looking to do at the next level?
I think I'm looking to throw. I think me and Coach Mayer have talked a lot about me throwing, but I'm open to wherever the coach needs me. I want to play.
Awesome. Anthony, how would you answer that one?
I'd probably say my work ethic. I'm always a very hard worker, making sure I do everything to get better and help the team. And like Peyton, I'm not the biggest guy, so I've always had to kind of work a little extra harder to get everything. So
fantastic. And Spencer, how about yourself?
Probably I don't know. I can handle a bullpen. A lot of different pitchers. I can handle them. Like you got to get used to pitchers. I feel like I can talk to them and kind of get used to them. But probably something else. I'm not like the other guys. I'm really not the biggest kid. So I mean, I can hit all right, but I don't have the huge home run power. I'm more of a line drive, double, triple kind of guy. But that's about it.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to get guys on base to be able to get hit in, right? So it don't matter to be big or small, whatever it is. And Western New York, take a look at this guy's background. He's got it all set. Sports all behind him right there.
Yes,
He's got
sir.
pictures. Go look. Make sure I see it all.
Yes, sir.
Great. So listen, next fun question. If you can meet somebody famous, who would it be and why? Anthony, let's start with you on this one.
I'd probably say Derek Jeter. Growing up a Yankees fan, watching him all the time, just the way that he plays the game, the way he conducts himself on and off the fields is just amazing. So I think it'd be a really good opportunity to be able to talk to him and learn from him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Spencer, how would you answer this one?
Probably Jeter also, or Michael Jordan, one of those two. Just like competitors and the top level, just killers in their own sport. But yeah, that's about it.
So it was second one in a row. We had somebody pick LeBron James last. You go Jordan. Back to that Jordan LeBron James thing, right?
Yeah, he's up there.
He wants us to discuss.
Yeah. LeBron's my guy too.
Oh, listen, I'll pick Jordan any day. That what he had as far as that fiery attitude, right. I mean, that just cannot lose, and I'm going to do everything to stop me from losing. It's just unbelievable.
Exactly.
Peyton, how about you on this one?
I think I'd have to go with Mariano Rivera. Learn that nasty cutter.
Nice. I like that one. I agree with you on that one. I mean, think about it. If I would have just told you I had two pitches, right? A cutter, right? And a fastball, and I'm going to dominate baseball from here on in, is just unbelievable to me. I mean, unbelievable what he's done as a closer, right? Great answer right there, Peyton. He's the first time that one's come up, so great one there. So, guys, I'm going to give you guys the platform, the forum right now to thank whoever you want to thank that has helped you get to where you are today, right? We don't get many times to be able to thank the people that have gotten us to where we are. I'm going to give you guys that platform. So, Spencer, let's start with you. Who do you want to thank?
Definitely my dad and my mother, and like my aunt and uncle live right across the street. So I mean, you know what happened with everything over the summer. So they've always been super supportive. Like it's a weird time what happened, but they definitely my brothers too. Like we just go out there, and my teammates actually also, because like it kind of help you forget about stuff that happens like tragic like that. But they really helped me through all that. My aunt and uncle and my dad.
Yep. You've also had some pretty impactful coaches along the way. Any coaches you want to thank?
Oh, Marty Szymanski, Dan Conrad. They've helped me a ton. Richie Bogdan, back in the OP Heat days. Let's see. I'm probably forgetting one or two, but yeah, all my coaches, every single one of them, definitely helped me.
Yeah, you. There's no doubt you've had some great coaches along the way that have.
Yep.
That have been.
Don Lockwood too. Don Lockwood.
Another great one. Yep, great one. Great answers right there, man. Peyton, how about you?
Definitely my parents. I mean, they drove me around since I was 9 years old all over the country. So definitely them. And my brother, definitely him. I played with him since I was, I don't know how many years old. Hey, playing with him on varsity has been a lot of fun, and being able to play as an 8th grader and a freshman. So, yeah, Coach Jagoda, I feel like after I transferred from Canisius to Dunkirk after my freshman year that he really helped me grow as a person and a player. From my sophomore to now, I feel like I grew as a leader and a person with him. So, yeah.
Awesome. Great answers right there. And I know my next question is going to lead into travel. But if I'm correct, you played for a travel team out of New Jersey. Am I correct?
I did. My sophomore summer to junior, I played for Tri-State Arsenal out of New Jersey.
So, and the reason I brought that up is so no doubt mom and dad were driving you to Great Lakes is the point I was trying to bring up right there. So
I'm 7 hours just for practice.
Wow. So absolutely, I could see why mom and dad are high on that list. Absolutely. So great choices right there. Anthony, how about yourself?
I'd probably say both my parents, just the amount of time and the effort that they've put into helping me get to where I am today. And also all of my coaches that I've had at Blueport, as well as Coach Bielecki and Coach Zemecki at the Junior Thunderwolves. Both of them, as well as all my Blueport coaches, have definitely helped me become the baseball player and the person that I am today.
Awesome. Great answers, you guys. That's a really good answers. So let's go into exactly what I led into there, Peyton, is who do you play for now in the summer? And then what was the most memorable baseball travel moment that you've had so far? So Peyton, let's start with you on this one.
Well, last summer I played for the Great Lakes Gators with Coach Rumley and Coach Hogle. And I think my favorite memory was definitely with them and definitely just the way that they bonded with the players. It was like nothing I'd ever been a part of, just the way they coached. They were very hands-on and you better do it. They got on you real fast and you knew it was coming from a good place because you'd known them forever. But yeah, just being around them as coaches was real fun.
Yeah, that was a very good team. It's a shame that, are you going to play this summer for someone?
I was planning to play Legion ball and just finding ways to throw and getting my work in on the mound and trying to get bigger and ready for fall ball at college. But I don't know at this point.
Okay, great answers. Anthony, how about you? So I know you're not playing right now, but who did you last play for and then your favorite travel moment?
So I last played for the Niagara Junior Thunderwolves and Jeff Zemecki. So I'd probably say my favorite moment would probably be the Cal Working tournaments in Maryland and Myrtle Beach. I think those were both really fun tournaments. I had a really good time there, very memorable.
Yeah, those are great tournaments down there. Spencer, how about you?
Yeah, I forgot to mention one more coach, Coach Billy Evans. He definitely helped me out a lot too. Just got to get that. But my favorite summer ball memory is probably sports at the beach in Delaware. Because, like I said, I don't hit a lot of home runs, but the fences are a little shorter there. Got a couple. Got two, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're 280 down there is what I think they are.
Yeah, 280. I think the deepest was about like 308 or something, so that's pretty nice.
That's awesome. And to be honest with you, I thought you could have gone down your Legion memory, too, that you just went through.
Yeah, won the state championship, too. Yeah. And I played for Marty Szymanski in the summer.
Yeah, and you're all right, and for the Legion team, correct?
Yeah, Hamburg Post 527.
Awesome. So they're great stories right there.
Yep.
So my last question I have for you guys: we asked your coach to describe you and the impact you've had so far in the school or program. What would they say? Anthony, let's start with you on this one.
So, I think the biggest impact I would say that I've had is the leadership I've brought to the team and the example I've set for the younger kids. So I've been playing on varsity for a while, so I've been around a lot of guys and I've been able to gain a lot of leadership experience and been able to just set an example for a lot of younger kids on how you should work and how to play.
Awesome. Great answer right there. Spencer, how about you?
Yeah, like he said, definitely helping the younger kids because like you get to some of those kids that are kind of hesitant to try out for varsity and stuff and JV, but like if you just got to tell them, what's the worst thing that's going to happen, that you're going to get cut or I mean, like, sure, it's varsity, but they put the pants on the same way you do. So just trying to convince kids that they have the confidence to go out and do something. So hopefully that.
And you got a pretty veteran team right now that's coming back.
Yeah, we do. And hopefully we can get on the field. I think we got eight seniors coming back. So hopefully we can get out there.
Even the youth, you're going to be talking about as a leader too among your peers. There is what
you're yeah, for sure. Yeah. We all kind of have like a big mutual respect kind of thing. We're all kind of boys, so.
Awesome. Peyton, how about you?
I think it would be I'm a very fierce competitor, very fiery. I get very agitated very quickly. And I just say that the way I channel that into my game on the mound, being able to go out there and take it out on the glove is a good thing. Also that and the leader aspect, me and a very young team we have. I was the only returning senior this year. So being able to show me and the juniors how we go forth and how we work and stuff is a big deal.
That's awesome. Guys, great answers. I appreciate it. That was my last question I had for you guys. I want to say thank you so much for joining me from the sidelines. And I really hope the next time I get a chance to see all of you guys is over at the fields when I get a chance to cover one of your games. So
thanks for having us,
guys. You got it. Next round of interviews here from the sidelines. I've got 3 more players here, 3 big programs here in Western New York, and can't wait to talk to these 3 players. Let's start with your introductions. From St. Joe's, Mitchell Flocare. From Orchard Park, Jack Duffick. And from Amherst, Garen Falk. Guys, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's get Western New York to learn more about you guys right now. So my first question is, have you committed to playing baseball or any other sport at the next level? If so, where and why? Mitchell, let's start off with you on this one.
Yep, I've committed to Clark University to play baseball. For me, it was just the young coaching staff, and I just thought it was the best fit for me.
Fantastic. And what did you like about the school?
It's a smaller school, so I just felt like it was more. The team was just a close knit, and it was just it was just a small school. I like the small school.
Fantastic. About what, 4 hours away?
Yeah, it's like probably like 5 or 6, I'd say.
Okay, a little bit far. Once you take some of those back roads, you can take.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Jack, how about you?
I'm committed to Allegheny College. They just had everything I needed. I like Coach Crum and the rest of the staff. And, it gives me a good opportunity to succeed, not only for the next 4 years, but beyond that as well.
Awesome. Great answer right there. Garen, how about you?
I'm not committed as of right now, but I am looking to play baseball at the next level.
Fantastic. Have you started emailing and talking to coaches as we speak?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Especially now during this time. It's a great time to be able to get your emails out, right?
A lot of free time on my hands.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay, guys, let's get into some of the fun questions. So what is the most memorable moment you've had in a high school baseball game? Jack, let's start with you on this one.
I'd probably say the Florida trip last year. It was just an awesome mix of fun and baseball. Yeah.
Was there a particular game that you had that memory? You're like, wow, this was awesome.
Probably the first game we played. It was the 80 degrees in the middle of March. It was just awesome.
That's great. Yeah, that's and what Jack's referring to is Orchard Park gets a chance to go down and play at Disney. So he's actually playing at the Disney Resort down there, and it is a great experience. Oh, yeah. So no doubt about it. I can see why that's a memory right there. Garen, how about yourself?
Probably my freshman year, we beat the 1 seed in the playoffs as the last seed. So that was a pretty big moment for me. It was my first real big win on varsity. It was a very fun moment.
Did you get a chance to play in the game?
Yeah, I got to play the whole game. So
and what position?
I was third base.
Nice. Very nice. Mitchell, how about yourself?
I would say game 2 of the Georgetown Cup last year, we played St. Mary's, just like extra inning game. We came from behind. It was just there's so much energy going into that game. It was just really fun game to play in.
Yeah, you could say a lot of games at St. Joe's are fun games to play.
Yeah.
No doubt about
Yeah.
it. So we're going to get into some of the games you have circled on your calendar. It leads right into my next question, in fact, which is, what is the one game you had circled on your schedule for this season that you couldn't wait for? There's always that one game that has a little bit more to it that I'm looking for here. So, Garrett, let's start with yourself. What's that one game you couldn't wait for?
I'd have to say Williamsville East. I mean, they're the big guys. They got, Joe Mack over there, and they're the team you always want to beat. So I couldn't wait to try.
Yep, no doubt about it. And that team's come up multiple times here. I can see exactly why. Mitchell, there's a couple ways you could go with this one. What you got?
I'd probably say two games, probably St. Mary's and Canisius. St. Mary's just because they beat us last year in the finals, and then Canisius, it's always a big rivalry, big game.
No doubt about it. Two great games. And to be honest with you, there's any game in the Monsignor Martin division you can probably
Franny's too.
Surprised by it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. Jack, couple ways you could go with this one. Where are you going?
I'd probably have to go with Clarence, just the way it ended last year. They're a well-coached baseball team, and they got us good last year, so we owe them.
There's a couple ways you could have gone. I wouldn't have been surprised if you said Frontier. I wouldn't have been surprised if you said Lancaster. Wouldn't have been surprised if you said Will North on any of those.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, is any game within your conference is always a big game. But like, it's just a fun question that we could see is what game maybe you had a little bit more interest in that get a little more excitement to the game. So, all right, one of my new questions I have. So let's pretend I'm a college coach, and I ask you, what separates you from any other player that's out there? What do you say? Jack, let's start with you on this one.
I'd probably go with work ethic, just trying to get the most out of myself and be the best version of me that I can.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I've seen that for years. And there's no doubt you'll put in the time and do what it takes to get that next step. Great answer there, Jack. No doubt about it. Garrett, how would you answer that one?
I'd probably also say work ethic. I'm not looking to be noticed on work ethic. I'll put in the work to do what I can and be the best I can.
Fantastic. Mitchell, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'd just say that I'm just a super hardworking kid. Not really looking for the glitz and glams of the game. I just want to help the team win and just do whatever I can.
Fantastic. Great answer right there. All right, guys, a little bit of a fun question. If you can meet somebody famous, who would it be and why? Garen, let's start with you on this one.
I'd probably go with Kevin Hart. I feel like that'd be a real good meeting. Be funny, and I feel like he's a lot different than most celebrities.
And at this point, we could all use a good laugh, right?
Yeah.
I love watching his movies. I won't lie. He's so funny. Mitchell, how would you answer this one?
I'd probably say A-Rod. He's growing up. He was always my favorite player. And I think just being able to just talking about baseball and life outside of baseball would be pretty cool.
Yeah, he really is something. Yankee fan?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, how about you?
I'd probably have to go with Billy Bean, just to sit down and pick his brain for a couple hours. He knows a lot about baseball and just be a student of the game.
Very good one. That's the first time that name's come up. Wow, went a different route. I like that. Great answers, you guys. All right, so listen, I'm going to give you guys the platform right now. Not many times do we get a chance to thank the people that have gotten you to where you are today. So I'm going to give you that chance to do that. So who would you like to thank that anyone that has helped you get to the person or the baseball player that you've gotten to today? Mitchell, let's start with you.
Probably just thank my mom and dad and then the rest of my family just for putting me in the position I am today. And I just want to thank my coaches too as well, just to helping me develop as a player and as a person.
Any particular coaches you want to thank?
I don't want to leave out anybody right now, so I don't think I can. I don't want to say anybody in particular.
All right, fair enough. I get that. Jack, how would you answer this one?
First and foremost, my parents, and then probably all my coaches, Justin Santonacito and Tyler Spear at the academy, Coach Sen, Coach Gavigan, Coach Phillips, and Coach Dietrich and Schreiner at Orchard Park, and then STA Sports Performance.
And your dad's coached you for years.
Oh yeah, no
Your
doubt.
dad's got to be in that boat right there.
Yeah, Coach Hilton, you, Coach Howard, all of them.
Yeah, and that's and like I said, your dad's coached for years, done a phenomenal job what he's done
Yeah.
coaching, deserves a lot of credit too, so no doubt about it. Garen, how about yourself?
All my parents for taking me to all my tournaments and practices, and then pretty much all my coaches since Little League, especially Coach Davis and Dolce at Amherst, and Coach Zemecki and Coach Wayne at Niagara. So they've helped me out a lot, and I'm very thankful.
Awesome. Great answers, you guys. No doubt about it. So it leads me a little bit into my next question. My next question is, who do you play for in the summer? And then what was the most memorable baseball tournament that you've played in so far? So Jack, let's start with you on this one.
I play for the Academy Stars, and I'd probably have to say most memorable would go back to Little League in Cooperstown. It's just what you work for. You work up to that moment from 10U on. And it's the first time I really remember traveling for baseball. And it's all baseball all the time once you get there.
And for Western New York, if you're watching this, if you look over Jack's shoulder, he's actually got the Cooperstown pin set that's back there, as well as the towel still from Cooperstown up on his wall. That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, I thought what Jack would then say in the memory was, there was this coach that was snoring like crazy in the barracks that kept every kid up. I thought he was going to tell everybody about that.
Could have went that way too.
So back then, most of you guys, if you don't know me, I had a lot more weight on at that time, and I would snore with the best of them. And everybody was laughing at my snoring in the barracks because I was one of the coaches that went with Jack to Cooperstown. So a little bit of a funny story for you guys. Garen, how would you answer that one?
Well, I play for the Niagara Junior Thunderwolves, and my most memorable tournament is probably my first tournament win in like 8U baseball. That was the first time we really had a big tournament, and it was a great memory for me.
Nice. What tournament was it? Do you remember?
I think it was just a Lou Gehrig tournament.
Okay.
We didn't really travel for it, but it was the first one that I'd ever won. So
that's awesome. Listen, the Lou Gehrig tournaments are big. I mean, for the young group, young age group. So that's a great one. Mitchell, how about yourself?
I play for Titans and Coach Dave Bunn. I'd say my favorite would be when we went down to Atlanta, played in the Perfect Game tournament. It was just such a big tournament, and it was just such a good time.
That's awesome. Any particular game that you kind of remember from that?
Not particularly one game, but just a few times we went down there for the past couple of years. I think just all of them just were such a good memories.
That's awesome. Great memories right there, guys. Great answers. So my last question I have for you guys. If we asked your coach to describe you and the impact that you've had on the school or program so far, what would they say? Garen, let's start with you.
I'd say they'd say I'm a hard worker. I have a good impact on the younger guys that are coming up, helping them through, giving them rides to practice, stuff like that. And I love to win.
That's awesome. I like that last one. That's been one of the first times I've really heard that as an answer. Good one right there. Mitchell, how about you?
I think just I'm a hard worker. Love the game of baseball. Like to have fun. I think I lead by example. I'll do whatever I want to do, whatever they can to win. Doesn't matter if what I have to do. I just want to win.
Awesome. And Jack, how about yourself?
Oh, I'd probably have to go with a hard worker, always doing the right thing. And then leading by example.
Fantastic. Well, you guys, that's the last question I had for you today. I want to say thank you so much for joining me from the sidelines. And I really hope the next time I get a chance to talk to you guys, it's going to be covering you guys at a game. So thank you again for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Tom Prince with Western New York Athletics, and that's right, you guessed it, last round of interviews. Couldn't be more excited to talk to these three players, three more fantastic players here in Western New York, and we're going to get a chance to learn more about them. Their introductions, from Olmsted, Max Schmarter. From Olean, Brooks. And from Sweet Home, Austin Roadhouse. Guys, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having me.
having us.
Absolutely. So let's get right into the first question. My first question is, have you committed to playing baseball or any other sport at the next level? If so, where and why? Max, let's start with yourself.
I'm committed to Monroe Community College next year for baseball. I really enjoy. I love the campus there. I love all the coaches, all the players that I met when I visited. It's also not like too far from home, I guess. So that was also a good plus.
Awesome. Great. It's a great school, no doubt about it. Jason, I know you're young still, haven't committed yet. What are you thinking for the next level?
I'm thinking about furthering my career in basketball. I'll also look into like maybe a couple baseball things, but as of right now, I'm linking more towards basketball.
And listen, I got a chance to cover that run that you had at Buff State. I was there for those games. No doubt about it. That basketball is a great thing at Olean right now.
Yeah.
Austin, how would you answer that one?
I'm committed to Alfred State to play baseball. I'm committed there because they're one of the only colleges that have what I'm looking for.
Fantastic. And what are you looking for?
More in like the construction side.
Fantastic. Great answers there, guys. All right, so let's go into some of the funner questions. What is the most memorable moment that you've had in a high school baseball game so far? Jason, let's start with you on this one.
Mine would probably have to be last year, our first round playoff game against Dunkirk. It was just a really back and forth game, and we ended up winning 2-1. And it just came down to like the last out, so that was probably my most memorable.
Wow, that's a great one right there. And by the way, those pictures behind you, awesome right there.
Oh yeah, this is my my dad's.
Those are great. Austin, how about you?
Probably bringing it back to my freshman year, where me and both my brothers were on varsity together. In our first game, we all hit doubles, and we won the game.
Nice. That's a great one right there. Max, how about you?
Mine would probably be in 8th grade. We were playing CSAT at Brighton Park, and it's just a large open field there. And so I was a much slower kid, still pretty slow today. But anyways, we were playing, and we're down a good amount, and I'm a home run away from the cycle in 8th grade. So our coach goes through a whole spiel. He's like, all right, you take a strike, whatever, take a strike, and then you can start swinging. And then after that meeting breaks, he comes up to me, he goes, the first strike you see, you swing as hard as you can. I don't care if you completely miss it. I don't care if you foul it off. You run after you hit that ball. So that was pretty fun.
Did you get it?
No, I didn't get up that inning. I was up 4.
Oh, no way. So you were just one shot away from the cycle as an 8th grader.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Great memory right there. All right, guys, listen. We all have rivalries. There's always that one game that has a little bit extra to it that you get excited for, that you can't wait. You have that game circled on the calendar. What was that game that was circled on the calendar for this season that you couldn't wait for? Austin, let's start with you on this one.
Probably Will East, our first games of the year, because they're our biggest rivals, and we have a hard time beating them every year.
Yeah, they've come up multiple times on this show. No doubt about that one. I get that. That's your answer there. Max, how about you?
Mine would probably be City Honors. It's so a lot of friendships between our two teams. A lot of my buddies are on that team, so I like always playing them. Hopefully, kind of rough them up this year, but we'll see if that plays out.
And in a lot of cases, that game could be the number 1 seed going into sectionals because of it too, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So we're close in divisions. So we have a lot of big schools in our league, but then we're B1 and B2, I believe. So that game's always fun.
But but it helps with that seeding because of you're getting also when you play the bigger schools and you get so many good points that help with your point system to really get the ranking that you want.
Yeah.
Jason, you can go a couple ways on this one. Let's see what you got.
I'd probably have to go with Allegheny just because it's just a rivalry we always had, and it's always fun playing them. And we play them at Bona's a lot, St. Bonaventure Field, and that's always fun on the turf. So I'd probably just say Allegheny.
Yeah, I can see that. And they got a new complex, a new turf that's going on there themselves.
I heard about that, yeah. So
yeah, I hear that's going to be a great little complex when that's done. And you next year, being only junior, may get a chance to play on it your senior year.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Yep, fingers crossed, like we said, absolutely. So, all right, guys, one of my newer questions. let's pretend I'm a college coach. I'm going to ask you, what separates you from any other player? What do you say? Max, let's start with you on this one.
I'll tell them I'm a hard worker. I'm always going to work my butt off in practice. And then in games, I like to bring energy to the field. I started playing with a lot of new guys the past few years. They've always brought energy, made me want to bring even more. So definitely those two things.
Absolutely. Now, Jason, I'm going to let you answer this either way. You can answer from a baseball perspective, from a basketball, however you want. How would you answer that one?
For basketball, I feel like I can control the pace of the game, and I would be able to read different plays and different defenses, and I bring energy and leadership. So that's what I would say.
Okay, fantastic. Austin, how about you?
I would tell them that I'm a hard worker, and I separate myself because I could play multiple positions very well.
Absolutely. What position you like the most, though?
Probably shortstop.
You could go to center. I've seen you play short. There's a lot of positions you go. You're
Yeah.
going to go to the mound too and do things. What positions are you going to play at the next level?
For Alfred State, I've committed to be a utility player, but mainly in the outfield, I believe.
Okay. Are you going to throw it all for him too?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. Fantastic. All right, a little bit of a fun question, guys. If you can meet somebody famous, who would it be and why? Jason, let's start with you on this one.
Definitely Michael Jordan, because obviously I love basketball, and obviously the series that's going on just makes you want to meet him even more. But yeah, he's always been like my role model and someone I looked up to.
So this has come up now a couple times on this show, right? Jordan, LeBron, we've gone both ways right there. Are you more of a Jordan guy?
Yes.
Nice.
A lot.
You don't hear that from the younger guys. I like that.
Yeah.
Listen, I keep trying to tell the guys in my household Jordan, and I get laughed at. They keep telling me, no, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Austin, how about you?
Probably Gleyber Torres, because he's a more utility player, and he's a young guy, and he's really good at what he does.
Awesome. Great one right there. Max, how about you?
I would probably go with Buster Posey. He's been a role model. I've looked up to him for a long time now. Favorite team. So great catcher too. Always works hard, finds a way. So definitely Buster.
Absolutely. All great answers right there, guys. No doubt about it. So listen, I'm going to give you guys the platform right now. Very rarely do you get a chance to thank the people that have helped you get to where you are today, right? So I'm going to give you guys that platform and that stage to thank whoever you want. So Austin, let's start with you. Who do you want to thank that helped you get to where you are today?
I would like to thank my parents, and then coaches Paul Nasca and John Campolo, because they've always pushed me to do better than everybody else and work harder than I even want to work myself.
Awesome. Great answer there. I know Coach Nasca, both and your current coach right there, have done great things for you, no doubt. And you've been on varsity since 8th grade?
My freshman year. I played the playoff games for my 8th grade year on varsity.
Okay, so you've been in essence up since 8th grade at one point. Yeah, so no doubt about it. So I could see exactly why those were big. I know you've played with Coach Nasca for years in the summer and why that'd be a big impact for you. Max, how about you?
I'd like to thank all of my family members that have pushed me all the way throughout this, and the entire Olmsted community, just from principals to teachers to all my coaches from all my sports that I played. I'd like to thank all of them.
Awesome. Okay. Jason, how about you?
I'd like to thank my parents, my sister, Coach K, Coach Finch, and Coach Childs, my basketball coaches especially. Coach DeGoyler, my baseball coach. They all have a big impact on my athletic career, and my teachers also pushing me to do my best.
Great. First one that's gone down the teacher route. I like that. You got. Hopefully, make sure you share this with the teacher so you get a little bit.
I will. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. So my next question is who do you play for in the summer? And then what was the most memorable baseball moment that you've had so far? Okay. So, Jason, I'm going to start with you. Now, I know you haven't played baseball in a while. So the last time you played baseball and your most memorable travel moment that you've had so far?
I played for the Olean Bombers a couple years back, and my favorite memory there would just probably be being in the hotel with the guys and just running around in the swimming pool and going early in the morning for breakfasts and just playing all the tournament games. So, yeah.
Nice. So, in other words, the coach's nightmare as you run through the.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Mhm.
they're great. Hey, listen, that's where some of the best memories are made at those hotels,
Yeah.
right? That's why you go to
Sure.
an away tournament, no doubt about it. And that Olean Bombers has been a team I've been known a lot about for years. Great team, great program down there, no doubt about it. So, Austin, how about you?
I played for the Northtown Nationals. Probably it would be Delaware with the 110-degree weather that we had the 1 week.
110 degrees down there. So in other words, you were in that ocean as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
Great facility. In fact, a lot of your teammates that I've talked to have said that the Bash at the Beach tournament down there was their favorite one also. Max, how about you?
So, I play AAA Muni with Jamco Diesel, and then I'm looking to probably play AAA BA this summer. My favorite memories are definitely hotels, all the hotel times when I was younger, especially like went to a couple of regional tournaments and whatever, but those are definitely the fun times.
Awesome. Great memories. Yeah, you can't discount just the memories of teammates, camaraderie, friendships. That's stuff you're going to have for a lifetime. There's no doubt about it. It doesn't matter what sport it is. You'll have those memories built there for a lifetime. So, okay, my last question I have for you guys. If we asked your coach to describe you as a player and the impact that you've had on your school or program so far, what would they say? Austin, let's start with you on this one.
Probably that I'm a hard worker and I'll work harder than everybody else. And then I'm not really the most loud kid on the field, but I lead by example.
Great one. Great one. Max, how about you?
I would say a leader. Last few years, coaching changes here and there, and I've always tried to step up and try to help as many of my teammates as I can. If they're new to the sport, or even if they're having a tough time, just trying to figure out things for their own, I was always going to step up and help them out. So leader for sure.
Awesome, fantastic. And Jason, how about you?
I would have to say I also lead by example. But when I was injured earlier in the basketball season, I couldn't really do that. So I tried to lead more by being vocal and helping my teammates. So probably being a leader and helping as much as possible. So, yeah.
Awesome. Great answers. Well, guys, that's all the questions I have for today from the sidelines. But I want to kind of wrap it up and just say is, listen, it doesn't matter whether we're going to get a chance to take the field or not. That's not why we're doing this. We're really doing this because you guys deserve the recognition and deserve to be recognized for playing on your teams that you've been associated with. From Olmsted to Sweet Home to Olean, we've talked to St. Joe's, Orchard Park, Lew-Port. I could go up and down all the schools that we talked to, right? You guys deserve the opportunity to be recognized, and we're going to do that whether you play or not. So that's why we're doing these things as we are today. 15 more players we got a chance to recognize today. We've recognized over 50 schools, more to come. We've got more schools, more players that we're going to be interviewing. And I just want to say thank you to you guys. Thanks for joining me today. And hopefully the next time I get a chance to see you, it's going to be covering you guys in a game. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thank you
for having me.
Thank you for having us.